Hi, welcome to Laura B. Gardening. This is my first Q&A that many of you viewers are asking me. So I'm really excited to answer all your questions regarding my garden, my planting techniques, what plants grow best. So you're going to be hearing my daughter in the background asking me the questions from the viewers. So I'm really excited to have you guys all sit down and hopefully this helps all of you guys. So go ahead, Jade.
Awesome. So the first question that we have is from Barbara Siddell, and
Okay.
she is asking where you are and what zone you are in.
Hi, Barbara. I'm in Southern California, Orange County. So I'm right in the borders of 10A and 10B. So I could go either way with most of my plantings, but that's pretty much the zones that I go back and forth with.
Awesome. And the second question we have is what is the size of your yard?
Oh,
And
size
that's from Lana Jackson.
Lana. So I'm not quite down to the square footage, but I know my whole yard, the front and the back, is about 7,000 square feet, give or take. But that's a relatively close number of the size of our front and our backyard.
Okay. April Rivera asked, how long have you been developing your garden?
Oh, yes. April, I have, well, of course, like all of us during COVID, I really got into it, but there wasn't a lot of plants because everything was closed. But I've been gardening, I want to say, for almost all my life. But this garden, the way it finally kind of just burst out with all these beautiful colors, about 3 years now that I've really had started developing with adding more texture, more boxwoods, more just evergreen. So about I would say the way this exploded about 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Marlene asked how you converted, because she saw the two doors behind the bistro area.
Yeah.
So she was wondering if it was a driveway, and if so, how did you convert it?
Great question. Actually, it's an RV access, and it was. It's always been an RV access, but we've never had an RV. So we used to have a basketball court here set up at the end for my son to play basketball. So he would just run back and forth. And then when he went off to college, I, he was older, and I'm like, well, I would really like some space. So I unfortunately sold his basketball court. He was really sad, but it's okay. And then we got these wonderful bistro tables when we were up in Temecula County in the wine country of Temecula. And I saw one and I'm like, I told my husband, I'm like, what a great idea. If we just we called it back then the RV access, which is such an ugly name, but if you have an RV, it's wonderful. So I told him, what a great idea if we just bought all these bistro sets and just lined them up. So when we had friends and family over, we could have the seating area. So that's what we ended up doing. We actually ended up buying all these sets. It was, well, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets. We fit them all in the car because we drove there, all in the car with chairs to go off the boxes. We were like up to the rafters in the car. So we brought that home, and then now it's our little bistro set. And it's no longer an RV access, but our bistro area. So thank you. Great question.
Well, I think another thing that added to the bistro area is the boxwoods.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That kind of I wanted it a very intimate area. So when you're in here, you don't see everything just flat. So I bought those boxwoods that my husband and I planted those, and the first time we planted those boxwoods, my husband was very meticulous. We actually had a tape measure, and we measured, I think it was every 12 inches, and it had to be precise. And I remember standing on the other side of that bistro area and making sure if I was off half an inch, my husband has the eye to like measurement. He was like, you need to bring it to the left, you need to bring it to the right. So anyway, towards the end, it came out to be beautiful. We set those boxwoods to kind of do like that enclosed, cozy area of the bistro area. Is that right?
Yeah. Did you learn anything from those boxwoods that you implicated into the other boxwoods?
I did. Yeah, great
So what
question.
Did you learn?
What I learned is, and everybody works differently. So some people say, oh, you can't do that. But What I learned is to bring them in a little closer. So I did bring them in about, I think on the other one's about 9 inches closer. I was hosting my sister's bridal shower, so I wanted them to be more filled in and not like they just got planted. So bringing them closer is what I do like. That I was sorry, that's my puppy because he's by the RV axis. At bistro, he likes to just bark at everybody coming by. So yes, I learned that, just bringing them closer. I like that look. It's just more of a hedge than having to wait.
What kind of boxwoods do you have?
I have Japanese boxwoods. I think it's Japanese, and I'm sorry, I might get this wrong. Macrophilia, macro japonica boxwoods. Ah.
So if you had a few tips to give to your audience when they decide to plant boxwoods, what would those tips be?
Drip. I cannot tell you to put drip water for your plants. Drip is so important to have some sort of water source there because they like a lot of water when they're first getting established, especially for our zone because as you know, we are hotter. So we really never have a true fall, but true winter where we're below, 35. It's very, very, very rare. But definitely just making sure that you have a good water source, some sort of good drip system set up for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So moving on, Jennifer Hooks is actually asking about some of your trees that are behind you.
Oh, yeah.
She's saying, what trees do you have planted along your white wall behind the dining table?
Yes. So this is a flamethrower, Jennifer. And she actually starts off with a burgundy color. And then she starts to, I don't know if you could see behind me. So she's burgundy, her veins start to turn green. And then it's like we have different stages of the leaves. And then we have it all green. And she is magnificent because she has every color here. She's just beautiful. So that's a flamethrower. That's to my left. And to my right is the forest pansy. And that's my husband's favorite. She's more of a burgundy with green little veins on it. So that's the forest pansy, the flamethrower. I got her at Home Depot before COVID, and I think she was about $149 is what I got her for.
And that actually answers Tish Casilla. She did ask you where you purchased your flamethrower redbud.
Perfect. I think you might still be able to find them, Tish, at Home Depot, or ask them if they could order it in for you because they're really good with that too.
Didn't we just buy a new one as well?
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Behind you guys and in front of me, for Easter, we just bought the vanilla twist redbud. And she's so beautiful. Her flowers were, when she was blooming, these two that are flanking me, their blooms were pink. So they're beautiful and pink. But the vanilla is, they have that white bloom, which just was so dense and so pretty. And like I always talk, you guys are going to hear me all the time talk about snow because I love snow. Maybe I love it because I don't live in it. But when she lost all her flowers, there was just all these blooms on the floor and it looked again like snow. But yeah, she has a beautiful vanilla twist redbud.
And just to clarify, you got that one from Rogers Gardens?
No, thank you. No, I got that one from Armstrong Gardens.
Yes. How much was it?
She was about $250.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tish Casillas actually had another question. She was wondering, what flowers do you think work well in Zone 10B?
Yes. I'm going to be really honest with you. I've been really blessed to have almost every flower work really well. And here's the thing. Many people, they have the annuals, and they are annuals. They die, every year, and you have to buy them again. It is the weirdest thing, but I feel like my annuals, most of them, except for the pansies, when it gets like over 100, then I got to pull them out. They just keep going. So pansies have done really good. They're still in full bloom right now. Pansies are wonderful. Diphilmiums. Oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce that right now. Foxgloves. Let's see what else. Oh gosh, petunias. Petunias work really well. Roses, of course, do really well. There's a big array. almost all of them. Coleus, the only thing with that doesn't do really good in the winter is the coleus, because when it gets cold, they do just kind of die down, and then I lose them. And those, gotta correct myself, those do become like annuals because they don't come back. Only a few have come back, and they're struggling, and I'm like, please come back because you were so pretty and I can't find you anymore. So coleus is the only one I have a hard time with.
Well, that kind of goes into, I couldn't find her name, but her account number was Feb1827, and they asked, do your peonies come back each year, or are they annuals? And we kind of just talked about this in our recent video, but
yes, yes, they actually come back every year, and they're facing the west side of my home. This is their third growing season, and they, start dying down during November, and I let them get all brown, take off all the brown foliage on them, and then they come back, start spring, you start seeing all the green coming up. So yes, they are amazing. They've come back. So yes.
Another question that I think a lot of people are wondering is, what is your most recommended soil, fertilizer, and compost?
Okay. So I love any JB organic soil, and the reason why I love them is because they are organic and because I have 4 dogs. So I do use that. I use the JB compost, and I've had great luck with that compost. I've tried different composts. None do so good. Sometimes they have a weird smell, or just don't have the right nutrients that I'm looking for. So the JB compost is great in my zone and great in my area. And then of course, I always start everything, whether it's in pots or it's in the ground. I start everything with the biotone, the starter fertilizer biotone. I can't get them here around any nurseries really don't have that starter biotone. So I usually have to order it through Amazon. So that's how I get mine. And I think it's like a 20-pound bag that I get. And that lasts me for a couple of months.
Perfect. Another question that everyone's wanting to see you trim. Here, let me put them inside your video.
Oh, yes.
Your topiaries.
Yes.
And do you have any recommendations on how, because obviously they're very lush and green, so how do you keep them looking like that? And what do you do?
Yes, I don't know if you guys see, do you see the soil? This is top pot. This is the stuff I was talking in my other video. This stuff is amazing. It has, all the right stuff that I would have to like get into the description, what's in that. In fact, if you could just pull that for me, Jane, and I could just turn it around. It's right behind you, the blue bag. They have top pot and they have acid mix by Gary's Best. And the top pot has, let me see, Jane, turn it around. I think it has the peat moss, the pumice, the perlite, the sand, the charcoal, everything that they like. So I don't have to water her often, but I do water them. I started her off with biotone fertilizer. And then I don't know if I can't remember, so please excuse me, but when I got them at Home Depot, and I've always loved these. The lemon cypress. She was just a cone, like I'll show you the other one, the cone all the way at the end. So they were just cones, and I was sitting out here having my cup of coffee, and one was looking a little wonky, so I just started kind of pruning her, and then I'm like, let me add another ball. So that's how I started just pruning them and just seeing what branches I needed to take off that would make the shape. This one here
started like this, so they can have a reference.
You guys see that? This is it, but smaller, because Home Depot sells them about this size, that tall, not taller than that.
Maybe put it a little lower so they can see.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
You start like this, but in a miniature size. And then I took them out to different designs. The one to, let me put her here. The one to my left here, I don't know if you could see her. So I'm going to tell you a story on this one. I know I kind of deviated from the question, but I really want you guys to know this. So she still has a little growth to do, but she's looking really good. I think I was having a disagreement with somebody.
Oh.
And I usually come out to the garden to just kind of breathe and just remember to refocus on what's, is this really worth being upset about, or whatever it is. And she was actually a really pretty, just cone shape. And I started just chopping at her, and I was like, oh, I'm just, not having a good day. I just got to prune something. And I started pruning her. And then she started actually transforming into this beautiful spiral. And she does need a lot of filling in because I think there was a couple times that I did kind of over prune because I was just like so aggressively pruning her. But yeah, I just do the top pot, prune them. When I first prune them, I don't set them out in the sun. I make sure they have some sort of shade so they don't burn. But that's what I do. Just start pruning these, and I'll show you a video of how I prune them.
Yeah.
Hope that answers your questions.
Where have you been getting your statues? And some of your pots are a little different. Like I don't know if you can see, but it's really funny. The bees are everywhere. So we have bees on these pots. So where do you typically get them?
So these pots, I actually got them at Home Goods. So I got all these pots at Home Goods. The pots behind me, I got those at Armstrong.
Let me see if I can move this.
The blue ones. I don't know if you see the blue ones behind me. And then I have some terracotta ones. And the terracotta, I got them from a local nursery around here called Site One. So I got those and love those. I wasn't much of a terracotta person, but I actually love the organic feel of the terracotta. So Home Goods, Armstrong, wherever I find a great deal. I'm always looking for pots. Even at garage sales, I always am like, give me a good pot. Especially the concrete pots is the ones that I want to grow up to have one day because they're crazy expensive. But that's pretty much the three main sources or the main places that I get my pots at.
Yeah, and you get your statues like same area, like Home Goods?
Some statues and some of my artwork that I have, or art that like garden art. Some are from, I think I mentioned it, from the Duchess on Cambridge. Really fun boutique. They have everything for home and garden and, you know, perfume and lotions and candles and.
Oh, it's addicting. You could be in there for hours.
Oh, you so could be in there for hours. I'm going to take you guys on a field trip to the Duchess. So they are so much fun. And I spend so much money all the time I go there. So I never show my husband the credit card afterwards. So the Duchess and then Home Goods. So the girl with the balloon, originally her balloon was red. And my dear daughter said that it reminded her of It the movie. And I'm like, no, why would you say that? So of course I went out, got some gold spray paint to kind of just really tone down the color of that balloon, and that covered it nicely. So I got her at Home Goods, and if you watch the other videos, or you might not have not yet, when I got her, I was with my mom, and I went to go get the cart because I'm like, oh, she's so cute, I need to go get her. So I went to go get the cart, and I put her in the cart, and it's so funny because to this day, my mom and I laugh because of how many people would ask me, like, do you want that little girl? And I'm like, you know, yeah, I really do. She's in my shopping cart. So yes, I got her at Home Goods. Home Goods is a lot of my bunnies. They have the cutest bunnies, the sweet little bunnies.
And don't forget the egg chair that we got.
The egg chair.
The best steal ever.
That is.
How much was that egg chair?
That was, okay, I know it seems a lot. It is a lot, but I thought it was a great steal. That egg chair, it was my son's birthday, and I had a lot of people coming over, and so we had to go to Home Goods to see if we could just buy some disposable forks, some nicer forks. We're having a nice dinner, and my daughter and I found the egg chair, and we ran because we've been wanting an egg chair. So we ran, got the egg chair at Home Goods with cushions for $5.99.
Yeah,
we have priced them out, and they have been pushing $1,000 plus around here. So it's been so much fun to sit there and read a book and have a cup of coffee. And we both fit on it. So that was a definite plus, right, Jade?
Yeah,
Did you love that?
Much fun. I love that. I mean, it's so comfortable, and it gives you like the best view of the garden too.
Yeah, yes.
So it's like perfect.
Yeah,
I think everywhere you sit,
even the dogs love it.
Oh, they love it.
I'm like, where's the puppies? And they're all out there like laying in the sun, and they're loving it.
Speaking of the dogs, do you want to tell everyone the names of the 4 dogs that you have?
Yes. So let me start with my oldest dog. His name is Kiwi. He's 16 years old, and he's a Chihuahua, and he is a male. Then after Kiwi, it's Roxy, and Roxy is 7 years old, and she is a mix. In fact, she's usually around here somewhere.
Yeah, she's right here.
Oh, okay. She's a mix of a poodle and a terrier, and she's a female. And then I have Ocean, And Ocean is a miniature pug, and that's why if you guys see her in the background, she's really skinny, but she's tiny. I think she's only 11 pounds.
Yeah,
and most pugs,
barely.
barely. Most pugs are about 20 something pounds, so she's very petite. So she's a mini pug, and she's actually my daughter's pug.
But she loves being a part of your garden videos.
She is my buddy. She
Yeah.
will sit next to me and watch what I'm doing and
Like
lay
right now.
down. Oh, right now, there she is. And then I have the newest addition, which is Blue. And Blue is my Frenchie. And oh, he's a handful.
Well,
I call him my little bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Because he will bulldoze through everything. And when he starts to run around the garden, I'm like, no, please don't. And you see the flowers getting kicked up. So that's my 4 furry babies. I love animals. I have a desert tortoise, and he is in my son and my husband's. Yes, my husband has a succulent garden. So he is behind the garden. He's fenced in because if I leave him out, it's a buffet for him.
Exactly.
So his name is Mr. Tortoise. Very original.
Well, just like a viewer that we recently had. So she had
with the
tortoise.
Salicata tortoise.
Yeah.
Oh, she would have a field day here in this garden. She would eat everything in like a matter of like a couple hours. Everything would be gone because they are huge, but they're awesome creatures. Awesome.
Well, I wanted to end with asking you a question of what is the meaning behind the design in your garden?
Okay. There's different meaning. It's not just one meaning. You know, my healing garden. I was going through a really hard time during that time, and I just wanted a place where I could kind of go and meditate and sit down and just kind of just really refocus on the day or whatever that, you know, situation that I was really having a hard time with. So that was that part of the garden. This one is this part, I'm wanting it like kind of a vibrant, happy, festive part. So everything has, to me, in my garden, everything has purpose of color. The middle over there has the really soft lilacs, the purples, the pinks, and it's just a like really soft, quiet place where you could just go in and just look at the flowers. So everything has different feelings, and that's what I'm trying to do, just different moods when you enter something. Like that's there, I can't answer just, it's not just one, it's many different what was your different
different designs different meanings.
Different meanings, yes, thank you. Different meanings,
but there's different designs too.
Yes. And I love kind of that old world design. I wish I had more space so I could put more boxwoods, because I love boxwoods. I love all the different designs. So that's just every piece of garden, every little room has different meanings. Meditation, kind of festive, happy, bringing everybody together, kind of a peaceful, and then in the back just vibrant and a happy, just feeling a lot of happiness going into the one where I just put this honeysuckle at. Oh, I haven't planted her yet, but soon, hopefully.
This area, I feel like I can just be like having a cup of coffee and a baguette. And it's like very cafe. Like French cafe, like bistro. Obviously, we call it our bistro area.
We do. But and then Jade and I sit out here and we put music, and we put French cafe music, and we feel like because I want to retire to Paris. That is my dream. My kids don't want me to move, but I'm like, I would love to retire and just live in a little studio or something tiny, and just venture the whole city and all the streets. But this is our kind of our French cafe, little bistro area. Yeah, it's amazing.
Which is exciting because now you're going to be adding parts of that into the front of the home.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes, and I can't wait to bring you guys on that journey. Yeah, to starting hopefully the pavers. They're starting because the guy's been really busy, about 4 to 5 weeks, and then I'm going to really start designing and just. I think I'm just giving you a couple of little ideas, some boxwoods. So some boxwoods are going to be part of the front garden. So yeah, that's going to try to bring the old world. I love old world feel. I love like things have been here for a long time and not just put in. They've been loved and used and just really cherished.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I think that completes the questions.
Yay. So, I hope I answered all your questions. I am, please forgive me if I don't answer right away, but I promise I will be answering all your questions as they come. Thank you. Everybody's so nice. I want to be all your friends because you guys are amazing, amazing viewers. And these comments, I know, and I know you guys hear this quite often. I'm a very emotional person. So when I see these comments, I start having tears in my eyes because you guys are amazing people and you're so nice and you're so inspirational and your words are they sorry, I touched the mic. They touch me right here. And I want to thank you. Thank you for giving me this joy that you allowed me to share my garden with you in your home. Thank you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I can't wait to start all these new projects, and I can't wait to have you guys part of my journey. Thank you, and God bless.